Welcome to the podcast. If you'd like to listen to an ad-free version of this episode and all of our episodes, then search True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts and press subscribe. That's our premium channel where all of our ad-free and advanced episodes live, all in one place. True Crime Today Premium Plus. Search it on Apple Podcasts and press subscribe. Even try it for 3 days free.
Some secrets are kept in the basement, others in the morgue. Welcome to Hidden Killers with Tony Bruschi, featuring defense attorney and host of the podcast, Defense Diaries, Bob Motta.
When it comes to assault, not rightfully so, but oftentimes a lot of shame comes along with it for the victims. They don't want to talk about it. They feel that somehow it's their fault. Obviously not true, but it also makes you wonder then too about some of these accusations against some of these celebrities and such, or high-powered people who may have been involved and being looked at somewhat as the abusers themselves if they were wittingly participating, or if this was all just another piece of Diddy's control over everyone. These people are thinking they're coming in and it's going to be some sort of sexual experience, but even they didn't know. Just speculating the extent allegedly as to what was going on here. And at the end, it's Diddy watching everybody, because that seemed to be his thing. That seems to be his MO, is watching people, from what we've understood.
Big voyeur guy.
Very much so. And he's got cameras and he's got everybody drugged up. I mean, he's in a way, it's kind of turning everybody at the party into zombies to a certain extent. Sex zombies, basically. And he's sitting there watching it. That's like a whole new layer of depravity that I don't think anybody was expecting in this. I think we were thinking, oh, these are really sick celebrities who think they can get away with a lot of stuff. Maybe that's not even the case. Maybe, a lot of these celebrities and high powerful people in their right mind wouldn't have gone to the lengths that they're alleged to have gone to had they not been drugged as well.
Yeah. And ultimately, if they end up getting charged, I mean, you can be assured that that's going to be exactly what their defense is. They're going to be coming at the prosecution with, look, they came kind of knowing that this was going to be some kind of consensual sex party, and then it turned into something that wasn't that. And our client was incapable because he was drugged or she was drugged in terms of being able to consent to certain acts. So, there's going to be a consent issue if they can prove that they were in fact dosed.
Yeah. That's
what I'm saying? Like that's what's going to be the thing. And I don't know how you do that. Other than it sounds like there's a hell of a lot of video, so if we're going to see scenes where they're slathering on the oil, if he was stupid enough to be taping that portion or videoing all that, like the prep work in terms of like pre-freak off.
Yeah.
Everybody getting ready, everybody getting all oiled up, or is he just going straight to the action? Only time will tell that. But, in terms of the defense lawyers, obviously they're going to get all that in discovery. Man, it's crazy. And it kind of reminds me, I covered this case this week, this Giselle Pellicot, and it's a French case. Have you heard of it?
I have not.
Okay, so real brief, you're going to want to hear of it after I tell you. So essentially, woman married to her husband for 50 years, 3 kids, 7 grandchildren. She's in her late 60s, maybe early 70s. Turns out he gets arrested back in 2020 in a shopping, either in a mall or a store, and where he's trying to take video up women's skirts.
Oh God!
So that from that they grab all of his devices. It ends up turning out that this guy had been dosing his wife in her food and in her drinks for a period of 10 years, and then inviting people to the tune of somewhere between 51 and 70 different men to come over with him to rape his incapacitated wife.
I have heard about this one. Yeah.
Dude, she had no idea what was going on. Yeah, it's a big story. Because in France, you have the right to anonymity when you're a victim of sexual assault over there. She waived it. She wanted to embolden other victims to come forward in cases like this, because it's basically laying her entire life out for the public to see. she, and rightfully so, she's being viewed as quite heroic,
Yeah.
And a real advocate for sexual assault victims. It's an incredible story. It's so disturbing, but it has a lot of the same nuances that Diddy's case has in terms of just how depraved some people are, man. And like in that situation where you have it's a husband who you've been married to for 50 years, man, it's mind blowing.
Yeah, I can't imagine at that point in life, right? Like recognizing that and going, "Oh my God, oh my God!" Like your whole life is a joke. I mean, it's just Speaking of someone who's probably looking back on their life, going, "Where did I go wrong?" Diddy's mom. She's still standing by his side, as we've seen mothers stand by serial killers where there's no question that they did it. They've even admitted to it. So it's not shocking that a mom is going to stand by her son. We saw her in court this week looking rap video ready, is the way I would describe it. Her dress going into the courtroom. But she also released a statement, and she's calling this a public lynching. It was released through Diddy's attorneys, not independently through her own. So it makes me question right away, number one, okay, she's on her son's side. Did she really write this statement? Was this from the attorneys that they wrote it? Because it doesn't seem like a very wise statement that was released.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt that was penned by some attorneys. They're not doing anything without lawyers at this point. So, and she's certainly not just popping off without lawyers looking at any statement, and more likely than not drafting the statements. That doesn't mean that that's not how she feels. She might feel that way. But obviously trying to inject the race card into a situation where I don't really think race has anything to do with this.
No, not at all.
No, this is about money and power and depravity, and then like this, he was just one of the most, it's going to turn out that he's one of the most depraved people I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
I mean, like the number of victims in this is going to be staggering.
Yeah.
I mean, when did this guy have time to work?
Exactly. Well, it explains why his rap really sucked for most of his career. Right? He's just kind of showing up little pieces on albums. I like this. Hang on, I got to get back to drug some more baby oil. Just enough to lay alive.
To get to, man.
Yeah.
I'm busy. Yeah, but it's not surprising, as you said. I mean, mothers are typically going to always back their kid, and I mean, obviously, there's this concept of willful blindness. When it comes to your own. And, it's, the sad reality is that her life has been shattered as well. I mean, it's like whether not saying in any way, shape or form that she had any part in any of it,
sure.
But, you have this impression of your child who's made it the way that he had made it. You're walking around with your chest puffed out like this is amazing. Like you're the proudest parent in the world. And then that gets shattered overnight, but it wasn't even overnight. Like they knew, when the lawsuit started coming out, like she had to, but he's probably going there denying everything to her.
True.
The same way he was denying it publicly. He's not going to go confess all of his sins to his mother, so whatever story she's been told, she's, if she is truly in the mindset that look, this is a witch hunt and it's all bullshit and they're trying to come after him because he's a kingmaker and they don't want black guys having that much power and money. If that's her mindset, I think when the evidence starts coming out, it's going to be a rude awakening for her. In the sense that it's just, it's going to shatter everything that she ever thought about her son.
If she's able to comprehend it, if she's able to process that. I think sometimes, our minds allow us to not have to do that because it is just so much to take on. And it's not just taking on this information that your son was involved in all these things behind the scenes as an adult doing horrible behavior. Not that you would know about it. It's his sex life, his private life, whatever. But to know that he's been lying to your face for all those years when asked, like, is this true? Is this happening? I mean, assuming that he's been telling her that it's all made up and it's all lies. But that would be another giant jolt for mom right there, not just accepting that this shit is going on, but like, oh, he's been lying to me too. Someone who's like one of the last people to still stay there and have his back. That's another very strong jolt. I don't know that she's ever going to truly accept that, but that would be shocking if she did. Welcome to the podcast. If you'd like to listen to an ad-free version of this episode and all of our episodes, then search True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts and press subscribe. That's our premium channel where all of our ad-free and advanced episodes live, all in one place. True Crime Today Premium Plus. Search it on Apple Podcasts and press subscribe. Even try it for 3 days free.
All right, true crime addicts, let's cut the crap. You're knee-deep in the gory details of your favorite podcast when suddenly a commercial hits like a bad meal. Seriously? You deserve better. Upgrade to True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts, where you can binge without those annoying ads. Plus, get extended interviews that go deeper into the darkness and early access to episodes so you can be the first to know. It's like trading up from fast food to fine dining, but with more blood. So, go ahead. Search for True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe and feast on the good stuff.